What would happen if for 7 full days you lived exactly like a medieval knight from the 13th century? No phone, no electricity, no modern food. Subscribe and comment for more videos. Sleeping in chainmail, training with a sword from sunrise, eating only what a real knight would eat in a castle. Following the code of chivalry, even when it was uncomfortable. Would you become stronger, more disciplined, or would you end up exhausted, covered in bruises, and questioning every life choice? I did it. For 7 complete days, I lived like a real medieval knight. Not a Hollywood romantic version, but the hard, sweaty, honorable life of a 13th century warrior. This is the most extreme and revealing challenge I've ever done on this channel. My body changed, my mind changed. And what I discovered about discipline, honor, and the real life of knights left me shocked. If you've ever wondered whether men back then were truly tougher, stay until the end. The answer might surprise you. Subscribe, hit the bell, and join me on this 7-day madness that nearly broke me. It all started with a question that wouldn't leave me alone. Were medieval knights really as tough as the legends say? Or is it just romanticism? We live in an extremely comfortable era. Heating, delivery food, screens that entertain us 24/7. But 13th century knights trained for hours every day, wearing armor that weighed over 30 kilos, fought in real battles, followed a strict code of honor, and lived under constant threat. I wanted to know if I could survive, and maybe even thrive, under their conditions. I wasn't going to do a watered-down version. I wanted the experience as authentic as possible. Challenge rules. Wear real or simulated heavy armor most of the day. Intense physical training, sword combat, running, strength. Medieval knight diet. Meat, dark bread, legumes, weak ale, nothing processed. Sleep in rudimentary conditions. Follow chivalry principles. Honor, discipline, service. No modern technology except for filming. I spent weeks preparing. Improvised armor with steel plates and leather, training swords, a shield, and a schedule inspired by medieval treatises like the one by Ramon Lull. I transformed my garage into a small training field. I built a quintain, a rotating mannequin for lance practice, a combat area, and a sleeping space with straw and thick blankets. The armor weighed 28 kilos. Just putting it on for the first time took me 25 minutes and left me exhausted. The diet: breakfast, dark bread, eggs, bacon, and weak ale. Lunch: meat stew with root vegetables, cheese, and dried fruit. Dinner: similar but heavier after training. No sugar, no snacks, no coffee. Only real food and water. I was ready. Or so I thought. Day 1 was humiliating. I woke up at dawn, put on the full armor, and went for a run. After 800 meters, I was already gasping. The weight of the chainmail and plates crushed my shoulders. Every step was a battle. Sword training. 2 hours straight. My arms were burning after 20 minutes. Striking the wooden post destroyed my wrists. Food. The dark bread was dense and heavy. I felt full but without quick energy. By the end of day 1, I had lost almost 2 kilos in sweat. Everything hurt. Sleeping with parts of the armor on was almost impossible. I woke up every hour from the cold and pressure of the metal. I thought, 7 days of this? I'm going to die. Days 2 and 3 were the hardest physically. My body was covered in bruises. My joints were screaming. But something started to shift. My posture improved. I walked taller. My endurance began to increase. Training: 3 hours daily of combat. Sword, shield, lance. Running in armor, I started tolerating the weight better. Medieval strength exercises, lifting stones, climbing, pushing. The diet started working. I had steady energy with no sugar crashes. I slept more deeply despite the discomfort. Mentally, I began feeling a strange sense of pride and discipline. Forcing myself to stick to the schedule even when it hurt made me feel stronger. This is where it got interesting. I decided to truly live the code of chivalry: honor, courtesy, protecting the weak, discipline. I helped neighbors with heavy tasks. I forced myself to be extremely polite and patient. Training became smoother. I could move in the armor almost as if it were part of my body. My sword strikes gained power and precision. The medieval food felt better than ever. I discovered deep flavors in simple things. But there were also hard moments. The isolation, no social media, constant pain, and the temptation to quit. The last 2 days were magical. I felt stronger, more focused, and more alive than I had in a long time. The armor no longer weighed me down as much. I could train for 4 hours straight without collapsing. Final physical results after 7 days. Lost 4.8 kilograms of fat. Visible gains in shoulders, arms, and legs. Completely transformed posture. Much higher cardiovascular endurance. Clearer skin, thanks to the diet. Mentally, less anxiety, greater discipline, more mental clarity. Living by the code of chivalry made me more aware of my actions and words. This experience taught me several powerful truths. Modern comfort has made us soft. Forced discipline builds character. The body adapts to hard challenges faster than we think. Honor and purpose give mental strength. Simple, real food is more powerful than any supplement. I don't need to live like a knight forever, but I've incorporated many of their practices: hard training, clean diet, daily discipline, and a personal code of conduct. Living like a medieval knight for 7 days was one of the most transformative experiences of my life. I suffered, I sweated, I fell, I got up, and in the end, I felt more like a man than ever. My question for you: would you dare to live like a medieval knight even for just 3 days? What part of the challenge calls to you the most? Do you think men today need more medieval discipline? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. If this video inspired you to step out of your comfort zone, hit like, share it, and subscribe. The next challenge will be even more extreme. Thank you for joining me on this 700-year adventure. Be strong, honorable strong. Be strong. See you in the next video.